Kindly tell us about the upbringing that Kamala Harris had and the mother's influence on her life.
See, we were not there when her mother was bringing her up. But from what we saw, she was a strict mother. She taught her values. She told her what to do. And she told her to fight for everything. That is the kind of a thing.
Ma'am, and also now you can see that Kamala Harris has risen to such a high position. Do you see the same streak of rebellion that you saw in her mother in Kamala Harris and in the way she has actually fought her way to the top?
Yes, definitely. Because Shamla would have been very happy had she been alive. Unfortunately, she died very young. But, she would have been very happy because she brought them up to come up to this level. And I knew Shamla when Kamala was first fighting for the DA post in San Francisco. I was in California at that time. And Kamala was thinking of standing for the DA post. And we were talking about it and we knew about it. And from that time I knew that Kamala wanted to get somewhere. And she said, I'm going to do it and I'm going to become the DA. And that's how she did. She became a DA, then she became an Attorney General, then she became a senator. That is the kind of a thing.
Ma'am, in fact, we came to know via reports that you had broken coconuts for Kamala Harris during her course as a...
There was a little... when the Attorney General post was there was a slight confusion in the counting of the post because that was a fight between the DA of DA of San Francisco and DA of Los Angeles. So there was a little confusion. So overnight we were on the computer trying to see whether the votes had been counted. So at that time, on some confusion, I had prayed, and then I went and broke 108 coconuts.
Ma'am, this time around, when she was fighting for her biggest post yet, was there any special ritual you had performed on your own or perhaps on her request?
No, I didn't go anywhere because of the COVID.
Ma'am, and when was the last time she visited you and family back in India?
I think she visited us last when her mother died. Yeah, when her mother died. When Shamla died, the ashes were brought to India. So at that time, my mother was alive. So she came to India at that time. I think that is the last time. I can't remember.
Ma'am, could you please tell about Kamala Harris ma'am's Indian connection and how she is connected to Indian culture, how she has showcased Indian culture perhaps in ways that you only know?
No, she adapts to everything. She likes everything. She will look at things and she will like it. For instance, a simple thing, like when we are sitting in family, our cousins would come and my mother would make us all sit together and sit on the floor and give us, food in the hand. And she'll say, kuchiko, kuchiko. And Kamala, even when she grew up, she'll come to my house and say, Chite, I want it, kuchiko, kuchiko. And she will say that, So she had some kind of a connection with the South Indian. She liked a few things in South.
I'm surely you've seen her videos of making Indian cuisine and Indian food. So what do you think about that?
Good for her. I'm glad about it. But mostly, nowadays her cook is my younger sister from Canada. She goes to, every now and then Kamala and her husband call her and she goes to visit them. She stays with them for 4 or 5 days and cooks good South Indian food for them for 4 or 5 days and comes back.
Ma'am, looking ahead, Kamala Harris has also said that I'm a black woman who's got into the vice president post, but I will not be the last. And many are also saying that she will be the future president in 2024. Your take on that, ma'am?
I don't know. I have no comment.
Ma'am, I'd like to ask you about your family. Most of you are extremely high achievers, all of you extremely bright people in respective fields. You've made it big. So do you think Kamala Harris fits in this line alone, or do you find some extraordinary qualities in her that perhaps you've not seen in anybody else?
She's probably got extraordinary qualities. Let me tell you, when she became a senator, I went and told her, Kamala, you're a diamond in the family. And she just said to me, Chiti, I'm not a diamond in the family. I'm a diamond amongst the diamond in the family. So she was not willing to accept that she was the first one to achieve anything, She was saying that she was in a family which had all the best in the family.
Ma'am, could you also tell us something about your father and how he molded all of your characters such that, in fact, she recalled your walks at the Besant Nagar beach very fondly?
I wouldn't know about it because whenever she visited my parents at that time, I was either in England or in Chandigarh. I was not there.
But if you could recall about your father, please.
My father was a wonderful man. In fact, he lived with me till he died in Chandigarh. And he shaped us all up. He told us, he is one whom you can think, being a South Indian Brahmin, at the age of 18, he was willing to send my sister to America, which no family would have sent at that time. This is talking about 1958 or something, And that is a time that Shamla went to California, and no South Indian family would have sent somebody to US at the age of 18. But my father was different. My father was something that women should be educated, women should also be done, and women should also be encouraged. So he brought us all up like that.
Ma'am, when was the last time you spoke to Kamala Harris, ma'am? In case she was able to call you last night after, getting to know the news?
She hasn't called me yet.
Ma'am, and about the inauguration, do you plan on going with your brother, Dr. Balachandran, to the US to see the big moment?
We're thinking, let's hope, depending on COVID in USA and other things. Because when she became a senator, all of us went. So we'll see.
Ma'am, anything fond you will have to recollect about Kamala Harris, meeting her in the US and your time you spent with her last when you visited her?
Last when I visited her was when I was in Detroit. I went to visit her. She was there for the debate. At that time, she was still a presidential candidate and she was for the debate. So I met her and talked to her. See, it's mainly that when we meet, it's mostly, we don't talk about politics or anything. It's mostly about the family.
Ma'am, and how are your relatives? How are your people in your village? In fact, your ancestral village is holding pujas in the temple and special celebrations for her.
Maybe I'm also planning to go there because that date is very special to my father. So last year we went and prayed for Kamla. So this year I want to go and say thank you to him. That's all,
Ma'am, and how has your family reacted, your relatives? You should have been receiving a flurry of phone calls.
Oh, yeah. All our cousins have been giving messages or calling and everything. Yeah.
Ma'am, and anything you'd like to tell to people regarding educating girl children particularly, because you've been from a family where girls' education has been at the forefront of priorities?
I think all girls should be educated and be economically independent.
So that was Dr. Sarala Gopalan Kamala Harris' aunt telling that all girls should be educated and also economically independent. So she was telling that her family had cultivated the values of traditional Indian culture, plus also the streak of rebellion that they had actually cultivated in them, in the sense that they were given the freedom to pursue their dreams, and that is what has led Kamala Harris to where she is today, to be the Vice President-elect of the United States. With video journalist Alagar in Chennai, this is Siddharth MP. WION World is One.